What's going on, guys? It's your boy Adjen back again for another Outerplane video. And for today, I'm gonna tell you everything I know about Mero, her strengths and weaknesses, her playstyles, her best builds, her best gears, her team composition, and etc. etc. Take note that these are just based on my opinions and by my playtesting with her, so just take it with a big grain of salt. So Mero is the new 3-star character to be added into the game, and she is really fun to use, especially if you are a cleaver. So yeah, Mero is a ranger type. Ranger means she has an insane amount of base speed. Rangers in this game has the highest base speed in the game, so most of them are pretty much openers, and Mero is one of them. Mero's skill sets are pretty interesting, especially the skill tree, because the skill tree not only gives you an accuracy and attack buff, it also attacks all enemies. So this is an AoE cleave attack that gives you 2 turns attack and accuracy buff, just like Cindy does. And also, this one will grant Mero an immortality buff. The immortality buff is that even if you take damage, she will not die. Unless that immortality buff got stripped, she will die nonetheless. But if the immortality buff is still there on Mero, even if she takes a ton of 100k damage, she will still be alive. And that is one of her something like a niche, because this immortality has some synergy with her exclusive equipment. So what am I talking about? So Mero's exclusive equipment is called the Great Communicator. As you can see, the passive of this one increases damage dealt by all allies proportional to Mero's missing health, max 60%. So as I've said earlier, if the immortality buff is active and she takes a lot of damage, making her HP probably around 1% already, you probably can get the maximum damage increase to your team. This is a team-wide buff, and this is a passive activated by the exclusive equipment. So that has some synergy with the immortality, because Mero will stay below HP, and then you will gain the damage buff. Pretty good combination of skill sets for Mero. That is why I think she's pretty fun to use. But in today's meta, I think she's just mid-tier, especially in today's meta in a normal arena. She's probably going to be shined in RTA. I've said this a lot of times in my first impressions on her and my showcase of her using a hyper cleave team. She's not really that good against high tier PvP or high tier defense enemies, but we will talk about that later on. I will elaborate on that one, why she is only mid-tier in my honest opinion. Her skill 2, this one grants your team the lifesteal buff. Your team can have a lifesteal effect by activating this one, and also it will increase the duration of the caster's buff by 1 turn, meaning Mero's immortality buff will get increased. So it will not only last for 1 turn, it will last for another turn, thanks to this skill 2 of her, because that is her niche, giving some additional damage if her health is on the low side. Now her S1 is really nice, probably better than Valentine, because the chance to activate a dual attack from this one is 80%, while on Valentine it's only 30%, and you need exclusive equipment of Valentine to be equipped. So yeah, between Valentine and Mero's skill 1 dual attack chance proc, Mero has the highest percentage compared to Valentine. Her strength is that she is a really powerful opener, just like Cindy does during the early days of Outerplane. But she has a lot of weaknesses. So let me tell you her weaknesses. Simply because probably that is one of the most important factor to know about Mero. Mero is weak against speed cleavers also. Not really speed cleavers, but something like this. The one with Tamara. Yes, since Mero is going to be equipping her best gear, which is the speed set. If you get outsped by Tamara, then it's pretty much game over for you, because Tamara will just reset your skill cooldown, and Mero will not be able to do her thing. So Tamara is one of her main weaknesses. Another weaknesses is something like this also, Tamara plus Dahlia. If you get outsped by Dahlia, you will just get frozen. And you're not wearing immunity set, right? Since you are using speed gears, if you get outsped by Dahlia, then it's pretty much game over for you. Another liability of Mero is that her skill tree can trigger counter attack. Yeah, so if you are fighting against an enemy D-Stella, and that opposing D-Stella has a counter set, then you are prone to counter attacks. Even though Mero will not die from that counter attack, your team members might die from that one. Especially if you're fighting against someone like Cypher, one of my guildies, that has a really insane D-Stella that can one-shot a lot of enemies just by counter attacking. So that is all the weakness of Mero, in my honest opinion. Also, since in this type of meta right now in Arena, usually it's the bruiser meta. If you take a look at the ranking information, a lot of the top players are running 6-star Demi Drakan. Yeah, so if you don't have a really powerful, insane one-shot cleaver, then you will not win against this type of team composition. And this one is using also Dahlia, a really fast character, also a really fast opener. So if you cannot outsped and cannot out DPS this one, then that is a weakness to Mero. Mero is not going to be shining here in the normal PvP, but probably in RTA. RTA is where it boils down, because that is you can ban characters, right? You can outright ban some characters in RTA. So having multiple openers in your arsenal is really good, especially if you have Mero and Valentine both, or all of the openers, you have all of them raised. Then yeah, that is her positive side. That is why one of the reasons why I summoned for her, simply because I am aiming for RTA. Now, what are the best builds for Mero? If you're wondering what are the best builds for Mero, as I've said, she's going to be wearing speed set. As you can see, the speed of my Mero is 324. Not the best, because I'm still missing some 18 speed gear. This one, weapon speed, legendary speed main stat, 18 speed. This one, the gloves, I don't have an 18 speed gloves. 18 speed the armor, and then also the boots. I don't have 18 speed boots. So I'm missing 6 speed to have the optimal 330 speed. So that is the optimal speed that you should be aiming for your Mero if you want your Mero to go first. And you need to add Mayne in your team. Why Mayne? Mayne, because Mayne, even though she got nerfed really hard, she's still usable because of her plus 10 ally team speed. So speed imprint. She's the only character in the game to give your team a speed imprint. So plus 10 speed to your whole team just by having Mayne on your team. So 330 plus 10 is going to be 340. That is the optimal speed that you should be aiming for your Mero. I think the only team build that I can suggest for Mero is the team that I showcased earlier in my Hyper Cleave team. This is the team that I'm using for Mero. I call this Hyper Cleave team because you want to be finishing the enemy really fast. So Mero will attack buff and accuracy buff. Valentine with critical rate and critical damage buff. And then Valentine will push the main DPS, your main cleaver, and Diaste is the best main cleaver in the entire game, hands down. You may want to be using also if you don't have if you don't have the Astay, then Notia might do, but you will still lacking some damage because there are a lot of the Astay in the opposing enemy defense, and that's just the meta right now. And the Astay is pretty much all over in the entire game. So yeah, if you don't have the Astay, then you might not want to summon for Mero. But as I've said earlier, you will, especially if you're a beginner, having really good openers will benefit you in the long run. Even though you might not have a use for them right now, in the long run, once you've gathered enough characters, once you've gathered enough gears, you may have some uses on them. Especially if you are planning to play real-time arena, which is we still don't know the exact date when it will arrive. So yeah, I think that's it for my full Mero guide. Mero is a good character, but right now in today's meta, she's just like a mid-tier in my honest opinion. So what do you guys think about Mero? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I think that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you could help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.